Good morning, all. I hope you slept well. Happy Columbus Day. It's a big day. For those that get to have the day off, enjoy it. Those of you that don't, I guess, well, be happy to have a job. I know I am. So, cheers to that. Golly, there's a lot that came to me. I gotta get ready here shortly. I got a meeting. So often enough, it comes up about running. Thought you could run or run. I'm not sure where the concept is behind that because never have I ran. I've stood 10 toes down on the front lines, taking it all on the chin. And so you can take that and you can spin that and you can run it. Because that's just a straight lie. And if anything, quite frankly, if somebody does run from said companies, said friend groups, said family members, said community involvement, why? Why would somebody run? Well, you need to ask yourself, what are you doing? What are you doing in the dark to make somebody run? Because there's probably a lot of people out here that feel like they want to run because they're suffocated and they're in bondage and they're in chains and they can't. They can't. And it's sad. It's a sad world to live in that. But I call your bluff on that because I ain't never run. I've been standing 10 toes down, ready to look some people straight in their eyes, but they just refuse to have a conversation with me. Absolutely refuse to. I guess I would refuse to, too, whenever everything you've said and done have been built on lies. I'd be kind of scared to have that conversation, too, and look somebody in their eyes. Once you know that they know everything that you've done to them, yeah, I'd be a little shaking in my boots, too, so I hate that for you. I hate that, but if and when you're ready to have that said conversation, clink, I'm here for it. Also, if you seek worthiness from those that are not willing to give it, says more about you than them. I watched my David episode 3 yesterday. That's so true. I know that feeling. When you seek worthiness and validation from people outside of yourself, outside of God, and they're just not willing to give it. There's people in this world that are just not going to give you that validation because they don't love themselves. They're not capable of giving it. If they're not capable of giving it to themselves and they run alongside jealousy, envy, hate, gossip, earthly things, they're not going to be in a position to give it to you. And you just have to get to your place where you recognize that it really says more about yourself than them. Because why are you looking for their worthiness? Why are you looking for their validation? You should already have that within yourself. You should already have that in recognizing who God is in your life, who the Spirit is inside of you, the Christ consciousness that we all carry, and what Jesus did on the cross. That is all you need in worthiness and validation until the day you go into the ground. That is it. There's nothing more outside of that you need. I know we live in a world that says you need more, particularly in the earthly things, in the titles and the accolades and, the money department. And that's fine if you run alongside that, but you're going to come up short when you're missing your essence, your soul, your zest for life, your zest for the moment, your zest to smile. So often enough, people even lose sight of smiling. I love smiling. That's one thing they can't ever take away is my smile. They can't take my smile away, I'll tell you that. Let's hear. My alliances I carry are with God and God alone. No one or company will ever supersede my alliance with God. So many people carry alliances. That came to me last night when I woke up, or right before I fell asleep. Alliances. There's a lot of alliances And a lot of alliances that people carry come with conviction. That was another thing that came, convictions, because the alliances they carry are unfavorable because they take away different pieces of your soul and your character based off the alliances that you carry and based off whatever said alliances expect you to be or act like or do. And in different ways, generally speaking, most people just don't morally align with them, but they don't say it because we live in a world built off earthly things. And so when you carry alliances with people, you carry loyalty to people, and it's outside of carrying an alliance with yourself, and it's outside of carrying loyalty with yourself, it's going to catch up to you later on down the road, because you're going to find yourself in a position of life where you're like, wow, I carried said alliances and loyalty to people that are just using me. You know, they're using me to gain from me. They're using me to exploit me, to narrate my life, to play different puzzle pieces in my life. They're using me to dangle the bait and switch. And it is very true. We all walk through all these different things in different ways. We all do, because that's the constructions of the entire world in different ways that they've constructed for us to make something of ourselves. So we have to build said alliances. I know that firsthand, you know, but then I got to a place where it's like, I carry these alliances and these loyalty with people that literally are just spitting in my face, in front of my face. And then when I react to it, they're like, how dare you? And it's like, make it make sense. You know, you can't throw rocks and hide your hand. You can't throw swords in somebody's back and then hide your face and think that they're not going to figure it out. And that's in all walks of life. That's in all walks of life. You know, we all deal with different things. That's why we all mirror each other. We all very much do right now. And so it came to me in reference to that, like, I will never build alliances with anyone outside of myself and outside of God, you know, and I wish that I could take back the years that I have lost based off the alliances and loyalty I gave to others that really just were waiting for my complete demise, and in the end, planning my demise. And that's just the truth. That is the truth. You know, everybody has unfavorable seasons. Everybody has unfavorable past. Everybody has unfavorable choices. You know, everybody does. There's not one single soul on this earth that hasn't had a choice that was unfavorable. And if they could go back, they're like, oh man, I wish I could do that again. You know, we all do. We all carry it. And that's why it's so crazy to me that there's just so much lack of humility when we literally carry the same things, and how much we go against each other and attack one another and spread hate and darkness and just cattiness, and condescending natures, and doing the most when it just doesn't require the most. You know, it really doesn't. And when you do the most, I'll tell you this, it takes a lot of your energy. You're going to come up short. You're going to feel depleted. You really are. You know, I give grace and thanks to God based off the energy that I do have. And it is a miraculous thing to wake up to when you realize, when you take your energy back from the world, you take it all back. And then you get to walk through the transformation of it and see how much energy you have for yourself, how much you look better, how much you feel better. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, you know. I know people have a lot of different narrations. A lot of people are committed to just misunderstanding me. A lot of people are committed to the lies that they've warped inside their head, because they don't want to look in the mirror and take accountability. And a lot of people are very much committed to living this false reality because they don't want to get caught. And that's just the truth. And I understand that. You know, do you and I'll do me.